Hi, Emma. My name's Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Nice
My name's
to meet
Emma. It's nice
you.
to meet you.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. Oh, considering that we've been roommates basically for 3 months.
I know. In either room 3, room 4, room 5.
Yeah.
Or on stage.
Yeah. So, well, we did it.
I'm so proud of us.
Thanks.
Honestly.
Me too.
This has been by far my most favorite season.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, I'm sorry, obviously I won. Sorry, Rashad. I love that season too, but this was so come on.
I mean, come on.
People's princess.
The
hard
men,
to beat.
the other men know. They know when they've been beat.
I loved it the other day when Rashad Jennings I won with in season 24 turned up at the studio and you're like, I don't like meeting your exes.
He actually told me too something and I forgot to. He's like, pick her nose. It's a bit that we have.
I knew that he said that to you.
And I was like, initially was like, I don't think I'm going to put my finger in Emma's nose. I mean, not unless she asks.
Yes.
And then I forgot. So,
I knew he said that to
sorry,
you.
Rashad. I forgot to keep up the bit.
It was something in the finale in season 24. Like we did a bumper, which is basically, where you wave and you cut to your package or whatever it is.
Coming up next.
And we were sitting there waving. For some reason, we were sitting on the floor because they had us on the floor. And he just stuck his finger in my nose. And I turned around and started hitting him or whatever. Like we were laughing about it. But he used to do the most random crap on TV.
I think that's football stuff. I think athletes, their body boundaries just become obliterated.
Totally.
So
I wanted to ask you about that because obviously people come on to Dancing with the Stars and it's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Let's touch bellies. Because that's basically what happens. It's you grab me here, you got to pull me in, we got to close this gap and you got to your stomachs have to be basically touching
You're
each other.
Hip to hip.
Hip
on
to
the
hip.
pelvis. One side of your pelvis, they're touching. Yeah.
Exactly. And, you're saying things like you got to walk between my feet here it's really up in your business and close. Was that
or
weird?
when you get to lifts, it's basically put your arm in my crotch.
Yes, exactly. And then pull me really close to you.
Yeah. No, it was not weird at all because I'm a pervert and I I talked to you about this.
Did you?
I talked to you about an aspect of this show and of dancing. That struck me early on, which is I have been in plenty of creative partnerships, but we did not hold on to each other for 4 hours a day. And there is something human, touch is a basic human nourishment.
Right.
So there was something about, and I think it's a key to it, why people are so touched by it. Yeah. Is because you're basically getting stuff that you got when you were a baby.
Totally.
But you're doing it as an adult and, and then you're working too. And it's all part of the same thing. And, and I'd go home and I'd be like to Jen, come here. I need more of this.
I need touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's primal. That's an instinct. And you mentioned this the other day, back in the day, we would just dance for enjoyment. That's what it was ceremonious. People would just move their body because it felt good. Yeah. So I think it's that teamed with the human connection, teamed with the aspect of just doing something together as a team. Yeah. It's moreish. You want to continue.
Absolutely. And to answer your question, your initial question, I don't have any sort of I'm the same. I've done so much. Huh?
I'm the same.
Put your hand
My
there.
body, your body,
grab
whatever.
it, And that's why, I love, and I was, Alan, who is Emma's boyfriend, he would come in and give her a kiss, and I'd be like, come on, what about me? And he would kiss me on the cheek, or I'd go to kiss him, and he'd give me a side cheek, and I'd be like, come on.
And then you did it on air.
Yeah, and then he came over and gave me one on air, and he was shaking because he was so nervous. Come on, lay it on me, buddy.
Can I tell you that he is actually now really proud that made the internet?
Oh, me too.
People screenshotting. Care to explain?
Yeah,
and I was like, no, not really. Just my guys sharing a kiss.
Right, exactly. They're Alan doesn't need to be threatened. It's Emma who should feel threatened.
Totally. I might make a TikTok about that.
But I think it's comedy too. It's it's the same thing, from doing plays and improv shows in Chicago and changing. the backstage of a place that has rats crawling around. It's like, I got to get to my underwear and there's 25 people in here.
Yeah.
And I've never, like, when I go to wardrobe fittings and they're like, let me shut the door. I'm like, I don't, if it's uncomfortable for other people, that's okay. But I don't give a shit, you know? And I also, my whole life, I've been that way. Like both of my wives, if we're in a hotel and like I'm walking around naked, they're like, people can see you. I'm like, who cares?
I'm the same.
Like, like, so they're going to see an old fat man. Who cares? They've probably seen one before, you know?
We were leaving so we just did, I don't even know if it's open, but we, this is out or whatnot, but we just did a part of a show with Reginald VelJohnson, who's my last partner.
Yes.
And as we were at CBS, the studio where we record.
Television City.
And as I was leaving, his trousers were off, and he didn't care. And people were like, Reggie, and he was like this, don't worry about it.
Doesn't matter.
He was literally getting naked.
Yeah. And I also think it's a comedy thing. I've done so much comedy nudity, which is a dance belt, which for people that don't know, it is basically a jock strap with one strap that goes right up the crack. And I've been on sets with that to the point where somebody's like, no, we want you to put on a robe. The robe isn't here for you. It's here for us.
It's here for us.
Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah. So I don't have a lot of, I have plenty of, it's weird because I have plenty of body shame, that's been one of the stories of me doing this is just not being wild about my body. And like I think I told you, like we're roommates, that kind of don't really get along, but we're got to share the same space. I've always been struck by I have body shame. And I remember when I was like a teenager with all kinds of fat kid issues and stuff and wondering about when I get naked in front of a woman, how is it going to be? And the first time I was naked in front of a woman, I was like, oh, this is easy.
Yes.
I can do this just fine. Yeah. You want to look around? It doesn't bother. And I don't know where that comes from other than just it's, when I get to that point, it's like these ridiculous vessels that we're all walking around in. Who gives a shit? And when people are squeamish about it, I'm always like, come on.
Listen, I have to tell you, you have the best legs. I don't know if I told you this, but I'm like, I love your calves. I'm a calf person. You have the best legs. They are such great legs.
Thank you.
And I've been looking at them a lot because, you wear shorts. So you've got your knee braces on. You've got your ballroom shoes. It's quite a look. And let me tell you, people love it. There's so many comments online. You've got such an iconic look, but your legs are A+.
Yeah.
And that's that's a thing for me too. I've got big calves for a girl. People think that my legs are really strong because they look really strong, but actually they're not. I've got no running power.
I think in our ancestry, there was a lot of work.
Yes.
There's a lot of farm work or something involved,
And they said they're going to look like their ancestors, but I cannot jump. I cannot run. I've got no strength there, but it looks like it can. So
no,
whatever.
I have strength. I've always been
you are
strong, I mean, as I've gotten older, it's been less, but I work for a moving company. My mother's business was kitchens, and it was I could always lift heavy things.
Yeah.
But thank you about the legs. It is my family. They're all giant old Swedes with big oak tree legs. It's so weird because we talk all the time. So to have you in here for an interview, I guess I don't know where to start. I guess maybe let's start from because this podcast is normally let's find out about Emma and her start. So we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
not that interesting, to be honest.
Yes, you are.
Well, I'm from Birmingham, England.
Yeah.
And it's very sort of middle of the road England. Grew up with, I love my family. I'm so close to them. I've got a twin. Her name's Kelly. And she's my best friend. And they're all still over in England,
which I find interesting.
But
I don't know a lot of same-sex fraternal twins.
I don't use the word fraternal because I'm British. We don't use that word. We say identical and non-identical. So I'm not what's fraternal?
That means non-identical.
So
it's
we're non-identical.
There's identical and fraternal.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're non-identical. We kind of look like we're related, but we don't look like twins.
Yeah.
Even though now, when we've grown up, a lot of people see us together and they go, "Oh, twins!" And we look at each other like, "That's crazy." We don't really look like each other, but maybe we do. So it's not particularly interesting. I grew up, I just had a lot of energy. I knew I was a performer. When you just see those kids and you're like, he is got energy, and they're very showy. So I was that person. Like, I just love to make people laugh. I love to dance for people. I love to perform. And it wasn't really I don't think it was from a place of like I needed attention, because I'm actually not that type of person, but I wanted to make people happy. I think I did it from a place of like at creating some kind of value for the room. And started ballroom dancing because I saw this demonstration of a girl and she dropped into the splits, and that was just like, wow. I just loved it. She had this incredibly sparkly dress on, her hair was slicked back, and I like wanted to be her at the moment. And so I like begged my parents, and they're the most supportive people, so they started taking me. And before I knew it, I had a decision when I was 16, because in England at 16, you can leave secondary school, which is high school. You can leave and go to work, you can go to college, or you can, do something else. And I got
trains. If you want.
Yes.
Sure, why not?
You can.
Very English.
I got offered a touring show, a ballroom show, and I just did that. And it's that whole thing of just life happened to me. So I started on this touring show, and this agent came up to me and said, do you have any representation? And I said, no, but if you want to represent me, you can. So we didn't sign anything. She just started to...
Hey, sure, why not?
If you want to put my name out there,
let me put my career in your hands,
right,
stranger.
Totally, at 16, and she did, and then she got me onto Mamma Mia the movie, and I did.
I still have yet to go back and watch that scene.
I'll screenshot it for you, and I'll be like, that one, that's me. And it was fun. And so I started to just do more. I started to become a performer that was doing it on stage rather than just competitively, because I did compete. And then honestly found my way to America, got an interview with Dancing with the Stars, because they just kind of knew who I was from the circuit.
Because it's not a huge pool of people, is it?
No.
In ballroom?
No. It's now becoming more popular, but I mean, I joined Dancing with the Stars 14 years ago. I was 22, 23, and I joined as a troupe. And
they still keep saying you should say you were 12.
I was 12 years old, guys. I'm obviously in my 20s.
Years, you're 26.
Let's stop advertising this. That's a good idea.
Listen,
I know.
I need to manage you.
Yes. I've been here for so long that when I first joined, people just kind of got to know you through. I would send them an email. I don't even think I poached them. I think it was Sasha Farber, who I was dating at the time, an amazing person. We ended up getting married. We're not together anymore, but like brilliant person. Just love him. He and I were dating at the time, and he got onto the show as a troupe member and got me an interview. And so I went and I did it, and I thought that I was terrible because I just said all the wrong things, but apparently that was what they were looking for. So then I got hired, and then the rest was history.
Yeah. And you've been there ever since.
I've been there ever since. So I found LA. I didn't really choose it, but it's great. And I've moved around here and found the best people. But it's really interesting because I've only ever done the one thing that I started to do as a kid, and that's all I've done. Like, I've not had any other jobs. So, it's going to be a frightening thing, really, when I kind of step away and I discover, well, am I a producer? Because part of me is also like, am I a director? Am I a producer? Am I some kind of, management house?
Or host, too. We talked about that. Yeah.
There's a few facets that I feel like I kind of fit in and I want to do. So it's just now I'm just in the era of feeling those out. But I think also being a pro on the show is something that I love to do. This season with us was incredible. Like I truly got re-inspired and reinvigorated, and now I'm excited about life, and that was because of you. Truly,
thank you.
You came on and we just clicked instantly. So that's what makes me excited. That's my story.
Did you, because we started, I mean, I'll take it from my perspective of us starting. And also, I mean, I feel like I've talked about it so much, but I don't know what people have heard. But, I got hired in April. I mean, they sent me an email, and I've told this before. My initial reaction was no, and don't tell anyone that they asked. Because there are too many people in my life who would have said, what do you mean no?
Totally.
And I knew that the no was just chicken shit. It was just, insecure fear, saying no.
Yep.
So within literally 10 seconds, I was like, I have to do this.
Yes.
And not I have to do this. And honestly, even now, all the things that have happened and all the attention we've gotten, yes, it's getting me noticed career-wise.
Yes.
And of course, the exposure of what is the hottest show on TV all of a sudden, all that exposure is going to be good for me career-wise. But that truly, truly is like less important than, and in that moment was less important than thinking this will be good for me to learn this thing, to confront, like somehow, even though there was all this fear and all this worry, there was like some sort of grown-up voice in the background going, do it.
Yes.
You know you need to do it. You know,
Yes.
probably like my own dad voice, like the dad voice for me that, sorry, Dad, I never had.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So I said yes, and then there was lots of like, you know, Jen throughout the summer going like, when are you going to get started on kind of getting ready? And I'm like, nah, in a while. But I did join a gym and I started doing cardio again. And in the meantime, I found out I needed a new hip because I'd been having all these troubles with my left leg, and asked the doctor, can I do Dancing with the Stars, which was a violation of my non-disclosure, you know, my NDA. I could have been kicked off the show. But he's like, yeah, sure. He's like, we'll just, you know, shoot you up full of shit. And I was like, all right, okay. And then as it got closer, I think I told you, like, I started to just, the week before, I was having like stress dreams.
You told me that.
Every night. And I was a crabby bitch. And it was all being scared.
Yeah.
And I had a dream, and I'm gonna tell it because it's about my dad. And my dad and I are estranged. We haven't talked for a long time. And my dad taught at Indiana University, and he taught the Russian language, which he had learned in the Army. He started out as a music major, went into the Army, tested high in language, and learned Russian because that was the Cold War, and that's
right.
You know. And it became his vocation, and he was very good at it, and he was well regarded within the linguistic circles.
Right.
But when he finished his PhD classwork, for people that don't know, you go on what's called tenure track, and it's 7 years of prolific publishing, like writing papers after papers, and you have to do that, and then you present a thesis, and then you get tenured, which is basically they can't fire you, and you make a pretty nice living as far as teachers go, especially university teachers.
Okay.
And especially like, you know, like he didn't really have, he's a gay. He didn't have a partner. I mean, by that, you know, my brother and I were sort of he wasn't contributing much. So it was like, he would have had a good living, and he might have been able to contribute more.
Yes.
He didn't want to do it.
Right.
And that was the story I always heard. He's like, writing all those papers. I never wanted to hear it. And as a kid, I thought, it's cool. My dad didn't want homework. But as a result, he never got tenure. So he was paid basically as a glorified instructor for years. And they finally did sort of correct it and gave him more money. But it made it so that money was a constant problem. And he had to wait tables on weekends. And it was very limiting to him. And I had this dream about that, and I was talking to him about it, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but I said to him, you didn't do that because you were scared. You were scared that you couldn't do that. And when I woke up, I was like, don't do that. Like, don't be that. You know, don't let some fear of something you can't overcome control literally the rest of your life.
Totally.
And it really was kind of a turning point just in me kind of going, you know, I still was like very nervous and very insecure. But you know, meeting you, and I mean, and I've told you, friends that are in the show, like when they told, like, you know, because you're not supposed to tell, because you're not supposed to know. But sorry, folks, we knew.
Yes.
But friends of mine, they're big fans of the show and who are dancers. I said, Emma, and they were all like, oh my God, you're so lucky. She's the best.
Oh, that's
Or they would,
so nice.
like Emma, and one of them was like, which one is she? The English one. Oh yeah, oh my God, you're just the English girl.
Oh, yeah, right. No, I like that.
And then I met you, and it was kind of instantly. I mean, you're hard to not have an immediate crush on. So it was like, the world has a crush on you. So it was like, oh, this is going to be fun. And I could tell right away, like, that you're a good teacher, and and you understood. I think you just innately understood my reluctance and my fear and my insecurity, and knew that, like, that we were going to get there through having fun and laughter.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then as I was doing stuff, like, there's big promo days, and you're going to different places, and people from the network, promo people, security guards, grips, would walk by me and go, "You got the best one." Like,
so
under
sweet.
their breath. Like, I wasn't, like they get in trouble if somebody found out. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
And I found out they were absolutely right, And then we started, and I started to. It was very hard in the beginning, and I felt like a Frankenstein just off the table. And then it slowly started to grow, and I started to kind of like feel proud of myself, which I don't spend a lot of time doing. And then, there was one specific night. I don't even know if we'd gone to air yet.
I think I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
And but I went to a Dodger game with friends of mine, and I was excited to do. And also, like, showing up at Dodger Stadium, like, when the sun's going down and you're going to see a game, it's just beautiful up there. The sun, it's a pretty wonderful thing, and I was excited to do it. And we were walking across the parking lot, and I thought to myself, I feel buoyant.
Oh, really?
I feel light. I feel happy. I feel energized. And I was like, it's because of this dancing.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. It's because of this dancing. Yeah.
People don't realize such a energy that, like, rushes through you. Like, Derek has a saying, and I don't think that this is his saying, but he says it a lot. And it's like, motion creates emotion.
Yeah.
And it's just by moving your body and then having something to work towards really does something magical for you. But I don't think you've ever told me that story. That's not, I thought you were going to talk about a different night.
Which was?
I thought you were going to talk about, we had not gone to air yet, and we did a show and tell for the first time. And a show and tell for the people listening is basically you finish your dance for the week, and you probably haven't, you're still at the Dance Rehearsals rehearsal studios, you probably haven't put it on even the stage yet, and you show another couple just to get the nerves out.
There's 4 studios, and there's 4 couples rehearsing, and you just go next door and say, hey, come
watch us.
You show us yours, we'll show you ours.
Yes, basically. And listen, you'd never shown anybody your dancing yet. No one had seen you. No one had seen a taping. Nothing had gone to air. And there was no rehearsal footage yet. So this was the first time that you had basically worked for a couple of weeks on a dance and was about to show somebody something.
Yes, sitting in the same room. Producers are watching on cameras, but that's easy to not put together, not even notice. You get used to it.
Yes. So there was physically eyes watching you in a room whilst you were performing this dance. And I remember being like, because this could go a few ways, like with celebrities, in my experience, they can get nervous, and anybody's, regular people, they can get nervous and they can just forget choreography. They can turn it up, which is very rare to happen because normally nerves really do take effect. Yeah. So you performed in front of people, and they were so happy, and their reaction was so magnificent that I watched your reaction afterwards, and we started jumping around and giving each other high fives and group hugs, and I remember we watched other people's dancing and we were laughing and clapping, and then at the end Britt Stewart made like a little speech about this is what Dancing with the Stars is, that you were the representation of Dancing with the Stars this year, because it was you, it was Baron Davis, it was Jen Affleck, and it was
Elaine too. Was it Elaine?
No, it wasn't Elaine.
Or maybe it was just the 3.
It might have been just the 3.
I don't think it was 4.
No, it was Danielle. For sure.
Danielle. That's right.
Danielle.
Yeah.
And you guys had not had dance experience before, and so it really was like a true representation.
It was a handful of people that were new to this,
to it, and so it
and you
was
did,
special.
and it was real, and it was really like. It was like you could just say it was just vulnerability, and people like seeing like NBA All-Star vulnerable.
Totally.
And feeling like nervous about doing something physical in front of people.
Yeah.
It's like, it was so sweet. And so, and when I remember when I finished dancing, it was kind of one of the first times. And you're right. I was like, oh shit, this is like it. And it was one of the first times that I felt like this thing that I felt a number of times, which is just kind of, and I am not woo-woo, magical, spiritual, tapping into something that just where you're just like something opens up and joy comes out.
Yes.
And everybody was so jumping around and so happy and cheering. And I could like it, and I can tell niceness, I can tell like a polite sort of compliment. And it was like people were really happy and really like thought I did a good job.
Yeah.
And I had this like giddy feeling, and I said like, and everyone was hugging me, and we all were like in this big group up, and I said, I feel like I've joined a cult because it was like, I did feel like something transportational just happened. I'm in like a different realm than I was 2 seconds ago.
Yes.
And all these people are hugging me, and now I'm part of some new
cult,
brother and sisterhood of something, you know?
No, you feel connected because you bonded over that shared experience.
Yeah.
And there was so much love going around that it's like, oh, I belong here.
Yeah.
I love this. And that's what you get hooked, and you want to go further and further and further. And I remember you said to me that your initial was to not get eliminated first. And then it was like,
well, first it was to get eliminated first, to just get this shit out of the way.
Yes.
And then once I started liking it, I was like, well, I don't want to go home for it, because there's a double elimination the second week.
Yes.
I was like, I just want to make it past that so I can say
I wasn't
the worst.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, it's going to be hard, but can we get to Cornelia's
dedication
dance, which was week 5? And then you said, and then I'm like, I'm happy. Then I'll be really, really happy. And we got to, and at that point, which was week 5, is like almost halfway in terms of length throughout the season. And I was thinking to myself, well, we could be going home like any kind of week.
Yeah.
And then it just continued and continued, and was just like, every single week was, oh God, let's just do next week. Let's just continue.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so fun. And sometimes I remind myself, this is a show about ballroom dancing. When would you ever think that would make you feel a certain thing?
Yeah.
Like, it's
or that
crazy.
People would, like that so many people would care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And the social media really helps with that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a boiling pot, and it's all good for the show, but it is like, there are people that really need to lighten up.
Man. No, and I've not experienced it. I've not experienced the kind of the positive and the negative side of social media quite in the same way as I did this season. But I will tell you, before we started the season, I think all the pros are very much about, okay, we're going to really utilize social media, because that's the way that you really do this. You showcase your person on social media.
That also, too, just for people who don't know, there was a changeover in management of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it had actually gone to streaming for a couple of years.
Yep.
And then the president of ABC was like, nope, we're going to bring it back.
Right.
And Conrad came back after an absence of 10 years.
Yes.
And there was this notion of, we are going to utilize social media to supercharge this show.
Yes.
It was a directive that was put out to everybody.
Well, actually...
I'm telling you what happened.
Actually... No, the Dancing with the Stars state that they never require us to do social media. There's not, they don't do that. But it was something that the pros have experienced over the last few years, that, you know what, this is an absolute benefit to us as people. It kind of adds to our enjoyment to be able to share more things. And we saw how, social media at the end of the day, it is also a tool, even though I don't like to think of it that way, and I don't think of it that way, but it is a tool and it does work. If what I enjoyed this year is that I enjoyed being so real and so authentic with you. I enjoyed just being funny and making funny videos. I reminded myself as me back as a kid, just making funny things to make funny things, just because it made me, it was enjoyable to me. We started putting those kind of things out because that's what I gravitate towards. That's what I like to watch on social media. I like it to be lighthearted. I like to feel good. So we started doing that, and that's what you do. That's who you are. You're like the best person for that. And it was so fun that I was like, let's do 2 a day. And
you said that right off the bat, as if like, take your vitamins. You were like, we're doing 2 or 3 TikToks a day. That's like one of the first things you said to me. And I'm like, all right.
Well, Alan said to me, Alan Burson, my boyfriend, he said to me, hey, just so you know, and I'll give you a bit of a backstory to this. He says, so just so you know, going into this season, like, I'm really going to be doing a lot of social media. And he said this to me because this might surprise people listening, I'm not great social media, and I wasn't. Mm-hmm. I have a thing with social media where it just sometimes feels inauthentic. Like you've said this before, you're allergic to being
phony. Yeah.
Same. I don't like to be performative. I don't like to be, I don't like to put on a persona. It feels ugly and it feels ick, and I just won't do it if it doesn't feel good.
For me, it is, and it's mostly television. Like for me, I mean, it's throughout life, but in television especially, I feel like it is crying wolf with emotion, so that people hear so much like supposedly just drenched with emotional things that have nothing inside them.
Yes.
So when real emotion happens, people have been so dulled by this just carpet bombing of horseshit, phony bullshit that they don't know when something happens that they should feel something.
Right, exactly.
And that's like, that to me, like, I'm not religious, but that feels like sacrilege to me. That feels like you are fucking up your whole reason for being on the planet.
Totally.
For being alive. You only got a set amount of time. Don't be fake.
Yes, don't.
The clock is ticking, you know?
Right. And you're so right about that. I live in my feelings all the time.
Tell me about it.
Right, and I know you do too.
No, I meant for you.
Oh, me? No, I do. And that's actually taken a lot of navigating for me because I'm very sensitive. I always was. And I, as a kid, used to think, oh, Emma, don't like walk into that situation because you know you're going to cry. And you're told as a kid, or at least you kind of seen propaganda, I guess, that if you cry, you're kind of weak.
Yeah.
And so I just lived with this. I felt like an amoeba with no shell. I felt like my heart was completely open to the ailments. And anywhere I saw something that was pure love, I could identify it really quickly because it would make me feel something. And then I would cry about anything, good and bad. I would cry over anything. And I guess I haven't talked about that much, to be honest. Like I was always very sensitive. And so I learned how to, I was just living in my feelings, and I learned how to like regulate my emotions and to ground myself. And I had to do that and be surrounded by people that made me feel good, and then try to disconnect from those things that wouldn't. So anyway, I cut to social media when I love to like really connect to people that have an open heart and, you know, connect to what's real. You know, there's so much stuff, to your point, that isn't real, that it just wouldn't resonate with me. And that's fine. But when it came to me being that, you know, sometimes you just, like they say, you got to use that tool and you got to do what's good for you. But it just would not feel good to me. And I don't like it. But I found with you that it was so easy. It was like the actual filming of things was secondary. It was more like, this is really fun. Yeah. And this was such a good way. And I actually felt so much purpose in being a real, being myself, that things clicked for me.
Yeah, you seemed energized by it once we got up and running. Yeah.
I loved it. And disliked it before. I'm not going to say hate, but I disliked it before. And now I love it. And now I love the fact.
No, you would text me like,
this is fun.
At 10 p.m. I've got an amazing TikTok for us tomorrow morning.
Yes. Yes. And it's not for the validation. It's just so I would watch it myself to be like, this is really fun.
Because it was fun.
Yes, exactly.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
And that's something I learned. I feel like I always had this instinctually as a performer. I don't know where it came from. It's not anything that I pat myself on the back for, but just whether it's like, my mother instilled a strength of character or something. But I always was like, even when I started doing improv, like, don't chase the audience. Do your thing. And especially in improv, be on stage with these people and, kick the love around up there and let everybody watch. And that was always my philosophy. That was always my philosophy, like with the Conan show and with shows similarly. And it can be applied to everything. Is that, especially a late night talk show, it is an opportunity for people to eavesdrop on cool, funny people, cool, talented people hanging out.
Yeah.
And that the best way to ensure that people who are eavesdropping's good time is to pursue your own good time.
Yes.
And I always felt like if I'm having fun, it's going to be the best show that could possibly be.
Totally.
And I have just carried that through. So like when you say, like, let's do TikToks, it's playtime.
Totally. Exactly.
And when you said that to me, and I didn't fully understand TikTok. Just I hadn't spent that much time on it. I had an account, and like we said, I had about 12 followers, which I think were all bots and I was just on there to watch my kids' stuff, my older kids' stuff. And I changed the name to something, because it was just something generic, something anonymous. And I don't even remember what, but I changed it to Andy Richter TikTok. Make a note, folks.
Yeah.
And then, and we started doing stuff, and there was a lot of stuff in the beginning that, like, I'd be like, wait, what am I'm saying this, and what is it from? And you're like, it doesn't, just say it. Just say it. Just do this.
Kick here.
And
just kick.
Yeah. And there was also a few where you'd have a shit-eating grin on your face, and you'd go, just do this. And I'd be like, what's this for? Just do it. Okay. And then it'd be great. And then it would be like, I would be like, Andy the fucking moron, which I don't mind, believe me, I made a lot of money being a moron. But it was, it just like, and I was like, okay, yeah. And what's weird about TikTok too, that I didn't understand, but I understand it now, is, wait, we're just going to do something that somebody else did and that lots and lots of other people have done. And we're not going to put a twist on it. We're not going to sort of comment on it, add something new. We're just going to do it. And you're like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I started to get like, oh, there is this kind of communal feeling of everybody doing the same thing.
Yes.
And there are variations, and, there are variations, but it does feel like everybody going down the slide at the playground.
Yes.
Like, let me go down the slide. You're not going to go down the slide different than the person before. Just go down the slide,
Right.
And I also started to realize, and I've told you this, because we were doing it for a while, and then you started showing me, like, look how many views this got. Oh, and then I started to see people becoming invested in our little venture. And I was like, oh, I see what we're doing. We're getting people on our team nice and early.
Yeah.
And there were, especially, I would come in and there would be pros going like, oh, well, if it isn't Mr. TikTok, oh, the king of TikTok just walked in.
Yes.
And it wasn't like, it was all fun and loving, but I did kind of feel like, oh, I think we're winning in one category of ways to play this show, this game, this competition.
Yes.
There's different ways to do it, and there's this one way, and I think we're out ahead, like we were out of the gate running.
Yes.
And other people were kind of like, I think there was like oh shit. Look what's happening over there.
And I take pride on that.
Like, absolutely.
Them saying, Mr. TikTok's right. That for me, I was like, that's a win. Because there's certain, like, you can say to me, you're ugly or you can't dance or whatever. But if you say, like, you can't do humor, you can't do that's a personal insult.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
No, God damn it.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
So, like, human connection, I take so seriously. So when people started saying to you, before even week 2 happened, people's princess, I was like, yes. Yes, he is. I would vote for you if I was watching all that and seeing you and knowing that is genuinely who you are, which is so palpable. People can see that. I'd be giving all my votes to you.
Well, and that's why I still, like, again, the key to it for me and the key to, like, feeling, and I've said this before, one of the things that I'm most proud of, like, becoming, and I don't, like, I would be nervous about using it, but like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like it's not, like, that's not kind of so many people in within 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I went from 12 followers to over 100,000.
Crazy.
And people, tons of people that are like, I didn't even know who you were. And now I'm a fan for life.
Yes.
Like, all of that happening, I've said, is like, because we did TikToks, we did funny little videos, and we danced.
Yeah.
There was no calculation. And even in the beginning when they're going like, oh, Mr. TikTok, the reason that I can take that and feel good about that is because it became strategic.
Mm-hmm.
But the strategic was the caboose on the train.
Mm-hmm.
The engine was, hey, Emma, let's play.
Yes,
hey,
exactly.
Emma, let's be fun and let's have fun and let's be funny. And there were times though when I did feel like, because there's different aspects of this show. There's different aspects of how to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is to be an excellent dancer.
Yes.
One of them is to be very well trained in dance. And there are some stars on the show who are very well trained in dance. And that is an excellent way to succeed on the show.
Mm-hmm.
There's another way to succeed on the show, which is to get people on your side by doing funny little videos.
Yes.
And in that instance, I did feel like, I'm kind of a ringer.
Yeah.
I did feel sort of like, it would be like if you went to, there was some show, say about like cooking, like it was a cooking competition. Yeah. But they were, and there's a Major League Baseball player and they're going, oh, but also we're going to have batting practice over here.
Yes.
And, and be like that guy going, like, oh, okay, I can handle that.
100%.
Because I've been making funny little short videos for 40 years,
And I remember, it's so funny you saying that, one of the first TikToks we did, and I mean literally one of the first, out of the gate was you going around being like, how's it feel knowing that I'm the ringer of the season? And we had no idea.
Yeah.
It was really, really, really funny.
But it was, the evolution of like how it felt to have all these people behind us and my expectation of what it was, and then starting to feel like, and there was just like different indicators that would happen around the show where different people's attitude seemed to be kind of like, you guys are here for a while, and you and I both going like, and there was a point at which I was just like, I think we're getting a shit ton of votes, and obviously we were, because my scores were always fucking garbage compared to the rest of the people. And and at a certain point I was like, all right, there is only so much. I said it to the other night. It's like, there was a point where I was like, I'm a rhino in a gazelle contest. I'm not going to be a gazelle. So, sorry. Yeah. But I am going to have a good time and I'm going to do what I do. And I'm going to, as I said, there's different ways to succeed at this game.
Absolutely.
And I would say, and I would say that, like, our game, there is a part of me, because I do want to be humble and I do want to be classy, but there's a part of me that's like, all right, you're an excellent dancer. Try and beat us at our game. Which is harder? To learn to dance or to do what we did, like to like make a phenomenon of just like
being
people
yourself,
dressing up their babies in headbands and knee straps, and holding up signs at Jonas Brothers concerts
and
to
marathons.
text Andy. Yeah, and I mean, that's just crazy. And it like inspired creativity.
Yes.
It inspired, it was just, I actually, I told you this, that I had my therapy appointment today, this morning before this. And I open it with like, well, the run has ended.
Oh.
But like one of the things I told him was that like the word that I see in the comments over and over and over is joy.
Yes.
And I'm going to fucking cry.
Go for it.
That the fact that we were experiencing it, that we were displaying it, and that we were causing other people to feel it.
Yeah.
I just think like, what better thing is there to do with your time on earth?
I know.
And especially for what I do, it's like all the awards in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I
think that's your life purpose. I really do. I don't know if you think in that way.
I do. I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, I like making people happy, and I always have, and it's been important to me. But the other aspect of it is that I have, and I've talked about it plenty because it matters to talk about it.
Yeah.
I've talked about how I have suffered from depression. I'm not crazy about that phrase. I have had depression, and yeah, it's a fucking drag, but you learn to live with it, and you learn to like. There's different things you can, there's medication and therapy. And it's why, like, I've been in therapy for 1,000,000 years, and I will continue to be in therapy because it is the vessel that holds my life.
Yeah.
It gives me a sense of progress. It gives me a sense of purpose. It gives me a sense of understanding and control. And if you really throw yourself into it, and if you're willing to put the cruelest of mirrors up against yourself, you can eventually get to the point where you love yourself.
Yeah.
And to have spent, I got to get it together, to have spent so much time in my life being sad, like a bulk of my life was in kind of perpetual low-level sadness.
Yeah.
And then to have the last 3 months be about joy.
Yeah.
I feel like I won a fucking war, and it has, and again, it was over a ballroom dance competition. Like the universe is so fucking funny.
Yes.
That like of all, like it wasn't like some retreat that I went to with some Buddhist monk. It was a fucking, like I dressed up in shiny clothes and, and had confetti cannons spray at me 100 times. And that's what brought me to enlightenment.
Yeah.
That's what like that set me on the path for the rest of my life.
And I think that people saw you connecting to your joy so much and so openly through this journey that was the underlying theme of a lot of comments, is the amount of joy and happiness that you brought people was incredible. Yeah. And like you said, what higher purpose could there ever be on this planet?
I can't imagine. I can't imagine an invention I could come up with, a bridge I could build that would be more meaningful than that. And I mean, just truly makes me just, it's like beyond pride or something. It's just like feeling like useful, feeling like really, really profoundly useful.
Yeah.
Well. And yeah, no, and you were the key to it. I mean, I've told you this 100 times. I don't know if you knew, but I mean, you were the key to all of that. None of this would have happened without you. None of this would have happened without who you are and your personality and your heart and us loving each other. Very quickly, it going from like, I'm dancing with this nice woman to like, holy shit, she's the fucking best. I love her. And then like going in every day, and even when it was hard, and it was hard a lot of the time, and there was a lot of driving into the studio where I'm like, oh fuck, more dancing. But you were always there.
Yeah.
And so that was always like, yeah, but Emma's there.
Same.
And we'll like, it'll be hard to learn these things, and it's sort of like feel like just the scales fall away, and then I can kind of emerge as something that moves. But there was always you, and there was always, let's take a break and make a TikTok, or let's just go like out and shoot the breeze with everybody else and hang out and have fun.
Yes.
And holy shit, it was just such a fun, wonderful experience. And like, I would not be at this point of just like soaking in joy if it weren't for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Same. It's not just a job for me. Like it's a visceral experience, and it was the same for me. Every time you walked into rehearsals, or if even you were there, because we were always quite punctual, to be honest. You were always either stretching or you walk in and you're, hi, I bought you this. Or
yeah. I'm a feeder.
Yes.
I like to.
I got you this lemon scone.
Yeah. I said, here's that lemon scone you wanted. You were like, what?
What?
Just eat it.
And it was good.
Yeah.
It was just, you just make things so magnetic. And it's kind of crazy for me to realize that some of the things that you've said, especially since we've been eliminated the last couple of days, some of the things that you've said have kind of shocked me, because I don't think you realize how magnificent you are. I don't think that you've really realized just what a gem and a beacon of joy. Like you said, you experience joy. You are so special. You are so special. And I don't think you have really allowed yourself to maybe feel that, or, because you're so humble as well.
Yeah.
That it makes you uncomfortable. I know it does.
And I mean, it's on like, there's like it's kind of a Midwestern thing. And there's part of it that I'm like, yeah, you know what? Don't get too big for your britches, and that exists in a lot of different places. But there's also an aspect to it that's bullshit, and that I should just fucking, like I said to my therapist, I said, I bet on a horse. The horse is me, and I should cheer.
Yeah.
I shouldn't go like.
You should cheer.
Yeah.
You should cheer, because look what you've done. There's so much strength in your kindness and your heart.
Yeah.
Like the strongest thing you can do is literally show people your heart. And that's what you do. And you don't realize how strong and important that is, and how much hope and joy that gives to people, me included. I feel so much validation personally, because I think I do live similar life to you and have had similar thoughts about why don't people share more, why don't people feel more. And you've just made me so much more energized and excited. You made me excited about the future. You made me like really excited, because like, look how like good life can be.
Yeah. Well, you should be.
I am.
You should be.
Even though I don't have all my shit together.
No, I don't think you ever.
You never do.
You never, like that's, like I'm not, again, like I'm not real woo-woo, but I do have like some sort of guidepost sort of little idioms that I think of. And one of them is get better.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to get perfect.
Yeah.
But if it's always get better, then you're on the right track.
Totally.
And and to be honest, like one of the a real lesson for me was early on in late night with Conan. I saw it like he had a real drive to get to do this thing, and he I think he understood innately that like he had a fire in him to be a comedian, to be a performer.
Yes.
And I think, and he's even talked to me about it, that he understood kind of late night talk show host was what he should be.
Right.
And he made that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw from him, and I mean, to my mind, I saw somebody who had this burning passion to get somewhere, got there, and there was a lot of now what?
Oh.
Yeah, like kind of, and where it was there, the stress factory is still making stress.
Totally.
Even though you have landed in the basket you were supposed to land in.
Right.
And that really made me see like, and I think he's learned this too over time. It's like, it's better to aim for a process than it is for a position or an like a thing. Just make it a process and just keep going.
I like that.
So yeah.
I like that.
How do you feel? I mean, how do you feel now about being eliminated? What's been the last few days for you?
Well, I was trying to count the other day, like how many eliminations I've gone through, because I obviously have been to some finals too, and I mean, I guess some of them don't count as eliminations.
Well, 11 years as a pro, right? You were in the troupe for 3, right?
No, I think I've had.
Or were you there for double
11
seasons?
years, but there was double seasons.
Oh,
so
right.
I actually think I've had 19 partners.
Okay.
Is it a 19 season or 19 partners?
You should not spread. That sounds so. Really?
That's not my count. That's not my count, guys.
Not, yeah.
So this elimination for me, of course, there was a sting of sadness that I don't get to come in and rehearse with you every day. That's the biggest part of it. Like, it's going out there and performing, being in the competition, but it was really just like, I loved rehearsing with you and just working towards something and getting to show you. We were going to have a salsa and a rumba this week. So getting to show you those dances.
Yeah.
I
and
was
to
really...
Prince, that is like, because every week that we advanced, there was like, oh, it would be nice to get to the end. Like for Prince, that would have been, especially both my son and my daughter were like, Prince?
Yes.
Like they really wanted to be there next week.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah. And we were going to dance to Nothing Compares to You as for the rumba. And then for salsa, it was going to be Cream.
Get on top.
I loved it. And I was going to have you, because we used the shirt rip with the abs for this last week. But I was going to have maybe like fake chest hair or something. Like I was like, oh, this is a good plan of thinking. I got to keep going with the medallion.
Mine vacated a few years ago. I don't know what happened. All the hair on not all the hair, but pretty much. I was never that hairy, but like I don't know what fucking happened. But mid-50s, it all just went. You know what? We're retiring.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's the elimination is like, oh, we get to miss out on a bit of fun. Like we get to miss out on that bit. But also I was overjoyed with just the amount of, and again, sometimes I don't allow myself to feel proud of myself. Yeah. But this time I did. I felt really proud of us and our journey. And I kind of like sat there. We had this party after we got eliminated. Not for us, unfortunately, but for the 20th year of Danson.
Yeah, it was a big fancy party with
very fancy.
Charo was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody came up to me and was like, what a season, a season. Oh my gosh. And it was hard to feel down when there was so many people that were specifically commenting on our journey.
Yeah.
And it made me feel like, fuck yeah, we did that. Sorry, Mom. She doesn't like when I swear.
Sorry.
But like, F yeah.
She's like a trucker.
Yes. We did that.
Yeah.
And I feel so is it weird to say like I'm okay? Like,
oh no, not at all. Because I'm
okay.
I am absolutely okay.
Yeah.
And and when people, to be honest with everybody, when people start saying we're taking you to the finals, 4 weeks ago, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But as you get into like week 8, 9, you're like, I don't know, maybe,
Well, we had our freestyle songs planned out.
Yeah.
We had the ideas planned out.
They make
you do that.
You have to plan ahead because there's so many costumes and art department and everything that goes into it.
I had to submit this over a week ago. Like, what are your plans for freestyle? We need it. So I was like, oh, we got to think about that in case of. So. And then
when you're talking about it, it feels real because it's close enough where it's like, okay, maybe that's attainable. Yeah.
Totally. And it does feel attainable with the amount of love and support that you were getting and we were getting online. We knew you were getting a ton of votes. We were like, this could be a thing. Like it really could. So you get excited about that. I was super, like, I hope that when you come back for the finale, maybe we can do one of those songs that we were going to do for the freestyle. Maybe that would be great.
Be fun.
I'd love to. I can't wait to see what happens there.
Yeah.
But like to have you. And having you come back and not be judged, I think also will be a fantastic experience for you.
Well, I told everybody, like the people that were, after they said we're leaving and, we're standing around and I'm kissing Alan and And there are people are like, we're going to miss you. And I'm like, I said, I'm contractually obligated to come back here in a week. Yeah.
Yes.
So, don't worry about it. It actually, because, like I said, like this sort of, you start hearing things and you don't really believe it. It's like, oh, maybe I could get to the finals. And then there's tons of people saying like, we're going to get you the mirror ball. Like you're going to win. And that enters in like, where you're like, come on, that's not going to happen. But there's this little voice and it's like, maybe.
Really? Yes.
No, it could happen.
Yes.
So, you start to kind of allow yourself to not necessarily count on it or anything, but it's like, well, that would be fun.
People think that about me. Yeah.
But as it got, especially Tuesday, we did our dance, our quick step, which was a let's shut those motherfuckers up.
Totally.
Quick step.
Yeah.
Because I get so fucking tired of hearing people say he just walks around the floor. And I'm just like, motherfucker, you come in here, rehearse for 3 months, 4 hours a day, go on TV, live motherfucking TV.
Yes.
And then hear people say you're walking around the floor.
Which you never did.
I get I'm not the best dancer. No shit.
Yeah.
But walk around the floor, fuck you.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, no.
So this was just like, all right, yeah, let's do a quick step. And as even Bruno said, it was quick, it was steps.
You
Good
did
job.
it.
Yeah.
No, you did it.
So it's like, yeah, I'm dancing. I get it. I'm not the best dancer, but I'm dancing.
Yes.
And that felt really good to sort of get that. And also just flat out fun.
Totally.
It was at the point, I'm at the point now where, there's nerves and there's, I still would manage to kind of ADD, like that my dog brain would like see a squirrel in the studio and be like, what? And then I'd forget something, or there would just be one distraction and I'd forget 5 steps.
Yes. It happens.
But it was fun. That dance was fucking fun.
I loved it.
And I was looking forward to getting to do it and to do it in front of people. Not just because I was, trying to prove something, because it's fun.
Yes.
And then I started to notice that they were handing out 10s like candy.
Yes.
And I was, I had this feeling of like, how the fuck are they going to put me through and send one of these other people home?
Totally.
How will that work?
Yes, exactly.
And I started, and I didn't think, I didn't put it all together until kind of afterwards that I was like, no, this was the perfect time to go home.
Yeah, again, I looked around and I was thinking to myself, we would have a new problem if we went through.
People would shit their pants.
Yes.
If I went home and somebody that got 410, or if I stayed and somebody that got 410s went home. And they would have a point.
Yes.
They would definitely have a point.
They would.
It just got to the point, because there was, other people went home, and I had survivor's guilt throughout the whole fucking show.
Yeah.
And everybody that went home was a lovely person that I enjoyed knowing, and getting to know them was a beautiful, integral part of this whole thing for me. So but I didn't set up the way the show was. And everybody that went home, including me, wasn't going to get to the finals.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I know you're mad that blank, you were a fan of blank and they went home before me.
Yes.
I'm sorry. But now we are just up against a wall of, oh, no.
Who can go home?
Truly, my rhino-ness is exposed.
Yes.
And the gazelles are gazelling it up.
Even though I think it was everybody's best dance this last week. And that's the thing, like, we improved, but also other people also had their best dances too.
Yeah.
So everybody was kind of like climbing up the ladder.
Yeah.
And so I think you're right. It was after we got eliminated, and slightly before for me, that I was thinking, oh, you're right. This is the best time that we could have gone out. It would have upset some people, and of course we're not doing this for the haters. But what was most important to me is that your experience in this was absolutely received with love from you, and was seen as a wow. Look at that's Andy Richter. What a Dancing with the Stars champion he is, and you are that and remain that. Yeah,
I want it to be. He had an amazing run.
Yes.
He made a lot of people happy. He wasn't the best dancer, but people loved him and they wanted to see him week after week. Because that's the other thing that I always feel like too.
Yes.
People are like, it's a dance competition. It is a TV show.
It's a TV show.
It's a TV show where they fire one character a week.
Yes.
And you as the viewer get to decide which character you really want to see the next week.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes.
Everything else is an aspect of the show.
Totally.
But that's what the show is.
That's what it is, yeah.
So we were fun characters that people wanted to see come back.
Yes.
But then it did get to a point where it is a dance competition. And and when it gets down to the end of it, that is what it is. And so I had to come, I had to like tell that little like maybe voice, like, no, honey, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to win the thing. And you're getting out now, because if I'd gotten to semis, there would people, again, like I said, they would just be flipping their tops.
Yes.
And so
in the age,
we came out like this, and we get a week off
before
we go back.
I know. We really didn't lose out on much, did we?
Yeah, we're just still, and we did 2 of the strongest dances that I'm it's not a self-critique, it's what everybody keeps telling me.
No, 2 of the strongest dances, and let me tell you,
and a lot of fun.
I had messages from people that said, "Oh, we have reactions from people, producers even, that were just giddy with excitement watching you dance on the screen, and both dances this last week."
Yeah.
And that makes me so happy, because that's what success looks like to me.
Yeah.
We've touched on this,
absolutely,
but it's like how people felt watching you, and so I think you didn't do a step wrong in that quick step. Same with the Viennese Waltz. You absolutely crushed it. So I'm so thrilled that was the episode that we went out on. We went, it looked like that.
Yeah.
How awesome.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It truly, truly was perfect. And already my legs feel better.
Yes, I bet.
Because that certainly was an aspect of this. Because breaking news, folks. It turns out I need a new knee too.
Breaking news.
Yeah. So January 2nd, I get a new hip, and then months later, I'll get a new knee.
Yes.
And I cannot wait, because I just. Like I was saying to you earlier, like I stopped playing tennis because I have a knee that has half a meniscus and now has no cartilage left.
Yes, I saw it, folks.
Yeah, I saw. I stopped playing tennis because it just was like, when I played tennis, my knee hurts all the time, and if I don't play tennis, it's livable. And so I'd love to play tennis again. Yeah. I'd love to just like not have to, after a day at Disneyland, go home and ice my knee for half an hour,
Yeah.
It'll just be nice to have a regular, unbroken, fucked up knee again.
You're going to be so joyous.
I have to apologize to Julie, your mom. I'm sorry that I have sworn a lot.
She'll forgive you.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yes.
She didn't raise me.
Yeah, no, she'll forgive you. And here's the other thing that I think, just going back to like ending on this season, here's one thing that we spoke about, and maybe this is not like the best thing to say, but I think there needs to be a blooper show on Dancing with the Stars. We spoke about this, and I think you should host it, and I think we should aim for next season. We start doing some, because I'm your unofficial manager now, and I'm pushing you everywhere through every door.
Yeah. She doesn't get a percentage. She gets baked goods.
Yeah, I get baked goods. I get paid with the bakery down the road. I feel like people don't see enough of the funny stuff, because there's tons of footage every single day of funny stuff that happens that would be, again, I think along the lines of just allowing people to feel laughter, feel the joy, feel all that funny stuff, like get some like BTS. I think that you're the perfect person to highlight that. So that's what I'm aiming for next season for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've said that to people at the show. I'm like, you guys are sitting on a
gold mine,
2-hour special
100%,
minimum,
100%.
And because like just from our stuff, like have they ever sent you the footage of me falling off the chair?
No, I wanted so bad. They said they were going to use it in the show, but now they didn't. I'm like, give me the footage.
There was a moment, I don't even know. I think it was my phone. I was sitting in a chair in the studio at a break, and one thing you have to understand is like, when the workload doubled, my knees just they wanted to quit. Yeah. And that's why, like, I posted, like, I got them drained, I got injections in them. But and I've been saying, like, I can dance these dances. I can go do those dances. But if I sit down, I need both hands to get out of the chair.
Yeah.
Just because my knees are so weak. And I, and I was sitting on a chair and I dropped something and it was just beyond my reach. And so I reached to get it. And because I don't have the leg strength to catch myself, I just kind of slow motion went up and fell right down, like fell right out of my chair like somebody in the day room at a nursing home. And you didn't see it and you're like, what just happened? And I was like, I fell out of my chair because I reached for something.
I was standing right there. I think I was maybe putting on makeup or something because I was about to do an interview. And you just kind of keeled onto the floor.
It was kind of almost slow motion.
Yes.
Like, oops.
And I said, what did you just do? And you went, I just fell. And ever since then, I've been begging producers.
I don't know why they won't give it to us.
No, they said they were laughing. It's your body.
It's my embarrassment. It's my humiliation. Give it to me.
No, they did say that they found it and they only didn't give it to me because they thought that it might be on the show. But now they'll give it to me. There was also something else. Oh yeah, the day that they chased us with 6 cameras, they said they had a ton of footage from that and they were going to give me that too.
Oh, nice.
So I was going to make that a lovely
Yeah, they just
TikTok.
brought in all the camera people on wheeled tripods and they chased us around the stage for a minute.
Like Daleks.
Like as a surprise.
From Doctor Who.
And it was funny, you said Daleks and that was exactly what I thought of too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, it's the crew, like the people that make the show, the wardrobe, the hair and makeup, like it is such a feel-good show. And I've only have experience at doing one reality show in America, and that's I mean, I've choreographed on So You Think You Can Dance, so I guess that's not true. But Dancing with the Stars is what I hear is just the camaraderie inside is so wholesome. Like what I love about the show is they're not trying to stump you up as a celebrity or even as a pro. They're not trying to make you look bad. They're not trying to get the drama out of you. They truly...
Or manipulating you.
No. It's really just like uplifting you. And it feels so good, which is why so many people want to do it. And I really hope that encourages more celebrities to, like you said, feel like I can do it and not put themselves in a box and go out and do it.
Conan sat in this room and said, I don't think I could do it. Now that you absolutely could.
Yes.
100% you could do it.
Yes.
Whether you want to or not, whether you want, whether you can give yourself over to the process enough is one thing. But anybody absolutely could. So no. And I also want to tell people that like that this show should, in terms of just the production of it, I have made live or live-ish television. Because I mean, the Conan, all the different Conan shows are not that dissimilar to Dancing with the Stars. We do it to tape, but we try to do it as live as possible.
Yes.
It was a habit we got into back in the 90s.
Good habit, yeah.
And because it's mainly for the audience's sake. Give them the same, almost the same thing they're going to see at home. But I have never seen a production like the one that happens there. It is just mind-boggling how much they get on. Just the simple thing to have Chicago, these are big bands. Chicago do a live performance, then broom that, as they say, get rid of that and set up Kool in the Gang.
Yes, exactly.
In 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's live, you got 3 minutes to do those things.
Yep.
And I just feel like that show should be, the production of that show should be tripping over Emmys. They should just be everywhere in that building. Yeah. Because it makes every other live show that people tout as like, wow, how do they do it? It fucking preschool compared to what they do over there.
I mean, I'm biased, but I agree. Yeah. We have a lot of confetti, a lot of stuff happening.
Yes.
The audience to keep them engaged. There's a whole during the commercial break, there's a whole production happening whilst the set's changing. There's people giving out T-shirts. There's the MC, which I really like. There's dance music that they put on. It's a really nice environment. Yeah. And the rehearsals, we do a lot. As pros, especially when it gets to the finale, you're gonna see so many performances, and we have a countdown sheet, 3 minutes to change here, 2 minutes to change here. Oh, you got 15 minutes. You're good. There's just a lot going on. Yeah. It's really, really, really good.
The other thing that people I don't think realize is that when you get in that room, and this was an aspect of it that was interesting to me, especially as I work as a performer. And I mean, I'm used to sort of, I have terrible attention problems, but I have the ability to hyper focus, and it has been honed through being on television.
Yeah.
And like, we're coming back and go, you got to do this thing. But in that room, you're in that room with the audience.
Yeah.
In your, you got a costume change. It's no surprise, because if you're dressing up like a goat, you come out and you're a goat in the, and you're walking around and they expect you to get up in the skybox and be an extra for the other dancers coming in.
Yes.
You're in that room. There's nowhere to sit.
Yes.
There's we have trailers out back, but they're too far away.
Yeah, you're in the room.
You're just kind of wandering around. You might find like a chair in a hallway somewhere to sort of sit down on. And even like in the makeup and hair place is where most of the audience comes through. So there is, they call it the breezeway, and it's goes out to a big open door, and there's director's chairs and mirrors on each side of this kind of narrowish, it's probably 20 feet across. Hallway, and everybody's there getting their makeup, and people are walking through the middle of it like it's Grand Central Station to get into the studio. That is like, again, like one of the craziest things about this show.
Really? I guess I have
nothing, never like that. Nobody in fucking show business does hair and makeup in front of the audience as they stroll in.
Yeah.
Never.
Oh, that's
ever,
so funny.
Ever.
Yeah. We because the cast is so big, and the time crunch of everything, you don't, like you said, you don't have a place to go that's like, oh, this is your room, like it, and then the hair and makeup go to you. Now you just do it at the side of the stage, and that happens to be where everybody else is, because there's no room. Yeah. So I never really thought about that, but it's true.
No, it's very, very unique.
Yeah.
And I do think it kind of, I think it's very fitting for it, because it's like you say, it's a very happy, warm place.
Yeah.
And beforehand, I might have thought like, oh, it's bullshit. You know, like, oh, that's not, it's a front, it's a
fake
facade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all this kind of good feeling and all this like sort of positivity.
Yeah.
It's, showbiz. You get in there like, oh no. No. It's really true. And
totally.
Nobody badmouths each other. Everybody supports each other.
Yeah.
Everybody loves each other.
Yeah.
It's why, like, when there's competitive team things and the producers try and get you to shit talk, it's like, no, like trash talk the other team. Tell them what you're gonna do. We're gonna dance, and they're gonna dance.
I know.
What do you want from me?
I know.
How do you think you're going to beat that guy? Oh, you mean Dylan Efron, the sweetest guy in the world? I don't know. I'm going to dance, and he's going to dance
with a high kick.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
With an ab T-shirt.
Yes.
I'm going to try that. Well, we've been talking for an hour and a half, and I could go on for another hour and a half. But
I know.
That's not for public consumption. We'll have forever to talk about
I know.
Because as you know, we've told each other, and I'm just letting you all, she told me in a rehearsal, it was weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Because we were talking about like, what is our chance? Are we going to do this? And I think you were like, we were getting ready to do interviews or something. You were fixing your makeup, and you said, I got 2 rules. Don't ever leave me, and get a social media manager.
Yes, I remember.
Don't ever leave me.
Yes.
Like, all right, don't worry, I'm not gonna.
Yes, my main point in that was, I'm going to get you a social media manager so you can continue this. But then I was like, no, actually, 2 rules.
Yeah.
Don't ever leave me.
Yeah.
Second rule, please get a manager. Yes.
But I mean, I got the same rule for you, and
I know.
We're stuck with each other forever.
I sent you a text, and I won't obviously go into what it is, but I really did mean it. Like, you're not allowed to leave me, and I'm going to make myself ever present in your life, because I can feel that sometimes when you go through this, there's a slight element of, was it real? Was it? Because it's on TV, so it's like, but yes.
Yes.
It seems crazy to say that, but you go through such a real thing that I don't know if you need telling, which I don't think you do, that I'm not going anywhere.
I know.
And I'm going to be in your life, and I'm going to call you up and just say random shit. Just put the phone down, because I love to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't have enough people to do that with. And you're just the best person. I just think you're amazing.
I feel exactly the same about you.
I'm so glad that we have each other.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you so much for everything for the last few months. And wowee, was it fun?
I know.
And, as I told you, like, look at what we did.
If I could do it again, I would do this exact thing again.
I can't. Yeah, I don't. Let me get the new knee first.
I was going to say, I think you're like, I don't know about that.
I'll do even better, I swear. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of The Three Questions. This has been a joy. And I'll be back next week with someone that I don't love nearly as much.